Well, I'm Evan.
And I'm Boyd.
We have video now. It's pretty sweet. And it's about midnight at the man cave. So, we're gonna do something different for it. Yeah, it's actually 2:22 right now. Anyway, so we're gonna do a little bit something different for the intro from now on, so let me know what you think. Here's tonight's intro. Anyway, turn that stuff off. That's how you sing dubstep. Anyway, tonight's topic is bad teachers.
Bad teachers. We've all had them. We all hate them. But it's high school.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, the first thing we're actually going to talk about is...
Well, I mean, how can you not talk about it? I mean, it's been in the news lately. You might have heard of it. Meridian Middle School, kind of crazy. So
I didn't go there. So.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't go there. Lucky bastard. But, so, first off, everyone knew Mrs. Mitch. Wasn't really a teacher, but she just kind of added to how bad Meridian Middle School was. We all heard of Mrs. Beach, though. That's for sure. You heard of Mrs. Beach. You know, you've never heard of Mrs.
No.
Beach? I never had her or anything.
I've heard of Miss Mitch, though.
Yeah, well,
I've heard of Miss Mitch.
Mrs. Beach had the whole child molestation thing with the kid behind a bush thing, yeah. I heard it was consensual, though.
Is that bad teaching? Or is that great teaching? That was an awful joke. He came up with it before, and I was like, I gotta say that. This is just a funny, awful joke.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. On top of that, they've actually had 2 more cases with teachers I heard of. Not exactly 100% positive, but I know there was a guy who got fired this last year for child pornography. Which just isn't cool.
That's kind of weird.
Not cool when you're teaching children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's why I got into the job, though. It's like, he wanted kids, so...
Anyway,
my mom's probably watching this, so let's move on.
Well, this is awkward. So...
Okay, so we came up with what we thought was, the ingredients to bad teaching.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we picked the, we have them on a list over here. We kind of picked we picked the topics, and we picked the teachers that we felt most described them. Now, they're all pretty much from high school, our high school in Meridian, so if you're not from Meridian, these names are going to mean nothing to you, but...
Well, yeah.
And we don't want to mean offense to these people, so if by some means they end up hearing about this, I mean, we just wish they'd change these things we're talking about. I mean, this is to help them.
About 90% of these people, the great people, they're just not that... There are aspects of their teaching that
there's another person we'll talk about that we want all offense taken to.
Well,
but
he does.
Okay, he means exactly what I'm saying.
I'm a kind person.
Right.
But...
all the hate I'm going to spew about this, he feels...
The fridge!
The fridge.
The fridge!
First time in a while, actually. Okay.
You guys saw it going off. So
you get the visual effects now. Okay, so
in 3D. No.
Evan's going to start us off here with our first ingredient to bad teaching. Evan, take it away.
Laziness. So when I was a freshman, I had a teacher named Miss Powell. Yeah, he had her too. I actually met some of my best friends in that class. Anyway, so Miss Powell refused to teach. Flat out refused. I'd be like, how do you do this, Miss Powell? She'd be like, I don't know, go ask one of the students or something. And I was like, you're the teacher, man. She's a woman. Well, woman. You're the teacher, woman! And so, it's just, And I'd be like, hey, can we can we have today's lesson or something? And she'd be like, nah, man.
That ain't my job.
My job. No,
It's time,
but she got fired.
I don't know.
That shows how bad of a teacher she was. She got fired.
On an unrelated note, she was fired for this.
Yeah. I had her my freshman year, so all of my anger's kind of simmered out.
Yeah.
So if you talk to my freshman self,
he'd be
some rage. There'd be rage.
spewing. Okay, the next topic I'm going to talk about, and that's kind of prejudice. I mean, you see this in teachers sometimes where they pick favorite students, and they'll be the only ones they help at all. I mean, there'll be students sitting in the back of the classroom, they never really cared at the beginning of class, but then they realize they're failing, and then they instantly start caring, and it's they give them no second chance. And, I mean, other forms of prejudice is, extremely prevalent in PE teachers. And I don't know if you guys noticed this. If you're a girl, you probably never did. Because, hey, if you didn't want to run the mile, they would say, hey, go get me Dutch Bros, and I don't care. I mean, I don't know. Evan never really paid attention in that class, I don't think.
I actually only had one PE class at Meridian. I took a online We Fit class for my second credit.
If only.
Yeah, what I did for that class is I just stepped on the Wii balance board and stepped off 3 times a week for 20 minutes. And I got a credit.
Yeah. So anyway, if you were a chick, you never did do nothing. And if you were a guy, you're like, oh, you don't want to run the mile? Run 2. Anyway.
Next up on our list is stupidity. Now this isn't, parts of this is stupid, so. My first grade teacher, her name was Miss Milton. She had orange hair and she was the old, well not really old, but the older mom kind of feel, and she was the psycho older mom. But if you see me looking, I'm looking down a little bit. That's because I'm looking at myself, and I'm really interesting. And
15-minute mark.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so yeah, we got a time limit and all that. Anyway, so yeah, Miss Milton. A couple of years after I had gone through her class, she told some parents that that their kid made the class a lot worse. The class would be better without the kid.
Stupid
Even
teachers.
if it's that true, you don't say that to parents.
You see that in other teachers too, in other forms. We gotta get moving though. So, bad attitude. Now, Evan didn't really notice this, but with Mr. Royce, I just felt like the guy hated everybody. And it's just if you're a teacher, you really can't have that attitude. Maybe it's because all we wanted to talk about was him killing someone in his kickboxing career.
I mean, I can see it from his side, because people thought he was a killer. Yeah, that was all made up.
Moving on.
Too nice. I mean, being nice is great. Sometimes you're just too nice. I think a great example of that would be Mr. Frody. He was a really nice guy, and I think sometimes people would push him around, and I don't know.
I had a friend in that class. Basically, what he would do every day is because Fast Eddie's had a sale, so he'd buy 2 packs of Hubba Bubba, shove them all in his mouth. It was fantastic to watch. I never listened to a day in class because he would just put 2 packs of Hubba Bubba in his mouth and be chewing this ridiculous size, it was overflowing into his mouth. Completely disgusting, but I'm a sophomore here, so it's hilarious. So at the end of class. Of course, this is killing his jaw right before lunch. He's not even going to be able to eat me eating applesauce out of a straw. But he takes the chunk, sticks a piece of paper on the wall. Just leaves it there. And walks out of the class. Frody doesn't say a word. Saw the entire thing. Example of being too nice. Okay. I'm going to talk about obliviousness. Now, I don't know if you guys notice this, because you might have the same problem. But, I have a friend, I'm not going to name names here, she was in a health class. Yeah, that's right, I have a female friend. She was in a health class, and in this health class, the teacher did not notice anything going on. There were kids in the back of the classroom snorting cocaine, in the middle of class. Now, I don't do drugs or anything, but I'm pretty sure school is the worst buzzkill for a high. Just saying.
That would buzz. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
if I'm gonna spend money on something like that, it's gonna be something epic, like watching a movie that's like mind blowing.
Or just sitting and doing cocaine. I mean,
like,
you don't need school.
School, you actually have to do stuff. The teacher hands you a pen and pencil and homework, and you're just like...
And you're cracking out.
Alright.
Anyway.
And
now it's time for the big stuff. The big guys.
The big guns. Now, like...
We've been holding this in. We were like, we gotta write this down to make sure that we don't talk about this. Mm-hmm. So here we go.
I mean, we feel that all of these things that we've been talking about... Laziness, prejudice, stupidity, bad attitude, not so much being too nice, the exact opposite. Why did we put that in this list? We didn't really think about that. Anyway, laziness, prejudice, stupidity, bad attitude, and obliviousness all combined into one nasty package of crap into a teacher we feel is best, like, displayed in this one individual. If you know us, you know who we're talking about. We shared the class. You might know about it because you saw us on TV in almost the same kind of situation. It was called broadcasting. Name the nasty person, Evan.
Bird.
Just the name burns my soul.
We'll have to do another video, maybe tomorrow, about how much we don't like Miss Bird.
But, I mean, I felt like we had to kill the time because if we just took 15 minutes to talk about this out of nowhere, you'd be like, whoa, too much hate, not enough reasoning behind it. But there's stories, there's bad things, there's just physical abuse done by this lady to the children.
Literally physical abuse.
I kind of deserved it at times, but it was for a good cause, believe me. I'm a nice guy.
We'll go over that later.
Later, at some point.
Do you want to do tomorrow's show?
I want to do tomorrow's show.
Okay,
leave it in the comments. Do I deserve another show? Have I been entertaining enough? Do I deserve another 15 minutes to vent with you about the hatred we have for this one nest lady?
Well, it's my cave.
It's your cave.
It's my cave.
But it's your show. You decide. You decide. I like the video aspect. It gives us a little more. I can almost feel like we're the audience here because there's these two people. There's two people right there cheering us on. Go, boy.
They're pointing back at us.
And they're like, yeah, we love what you do. Oh, I hope we made you laugh. We tried so hard.
It's like every joke that I tell, they're laughing right along with us.
Okay. So, that's our show for tonight.
It's like a mirror right there, guys. I mean, you know the feel.
We'll get over this whole mirror thing tomorrow, we promise. We won't even comment. The whole video thing will be just like old news to us. The refrigerator, you get to see it buzz again.
Every night.
Every night. We might throw in a backdrop back there at some point. But if we hear the refrigerator, we'll be glad to be like, ooh, refrigerator. Saying hello.
Well, yeah. Is that about it?
Yeah.
Anything else? We love you.
Cut scene.
Good night. Good night.
I'm so tired. It's like 2:30.
2:35. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night, Meridian area.
We hope to see you tomorrow.
Probably not.